Oasis Audio presents Oathbound, The Royal Rose Chronicles, Book 1, by Victoria Mccombs. Read for you by Quay. Chapter 1. Emme. The creaky door of the Banished Gentleman Tavern swung wide as a young man with a cutlass strapped to his side sauntered in with his fists raised in triumph. He hadn't bothered to lace the front strings of his shirt, showing the curls of his tattoo underneath. Golden waves for the ocean he loved so dearly. He practically sang as he declared loudly enough for the room to hear, "He's dead! Finally!" From my seat in the back, I cursed. Further news of death was not welcome here. This week had brought enough of that. Whosoever death this was, Arn danced in the face of it. He paused to shake a few hands and tip his head in greeting. To a few he even bowed. Bowed, as if he'd waltzed into a fancy establishment among fine nobles, instead of a seaside tavern with the smell of fish and salt water filling the stale morning air. Pirates, always so dramatic. As if he could read my thoughts, Arn threw his head back and bellowed, "It's a great day indeed." His voice reached the dusty rafters above and settled over the tavern like a promise, a vow that today would be the start of something wonderful. To reinforce his point, he raised an imaginary tankard, then scanned the heads of our few customers. With a strained smile, I raised my hand in greeting. Arn sighted me. He bounded across the floor and pulled out the seat opposite from mine. "Emme, did you hear? He's dead!" Though less than a meter away, his slurred voice paid no regard to volume as he spread out his arms and grinned. "There you are, my closest friend and the fairest maiden in all the land, the wise, the majestic Emme. Truly, there is no one like you across all the seas." From behind the bar, Bart and I exchanged glances. Had I not confessed yesterday how I longed for my friend's ship to come into port? And now the fates, who had been cruel this week, sent him the very next morning, drunk. In the rare times Arn chose to get soused, trouble always followed. And when trouble came after him, it often brought difficulty to me. "Arn, I'm not helping you hide the body this time. That turned into a huge mess." He wagged his head. "I'd always hide the body for you." When my brow raised, he laughed. "No need. I didn't kill him this time. The old pirate is dead of his own accord." Arn crossed his fingers and twirled them in the air as a promise. He removed his pistol belt and laid it on the table, then leaned forward and whispered, "It's old Barnacles." "Burnaby Day?" Arn hushed me and motioned to lower my voice, but nodded. He had some nerve to hush me after his grand entrance. They could probably hear him from the docks. Wild glee frolicked in Arn's eyes. "You know what this means, don't you?" He'd never looked so disappointed in me as when I shook my head. He leaned forward even more. "The treasure?" He slapped the table and my plate clattered. "This is it, Emme! This money will get you out of here!" When my eagerness didn't follow, Arn slumped against his chair, crossed his arms and looked at me. "What?" Over our 4 years of friendship, Arn had rambled about so many treasures that I'd lost count. For all his talk, he'd never acquired a decent loot. Most of his wealth came from plundering small merchant vessels, then bringing the silk or spices back to this cloudy seaside town to trade. I expected this trip to end no differently than his others. Remember a few years ago when you went after Winfred Varlo's hoard and you got so lost that you couldn't find your way out of those seas for weeks? Or the next year when you sought the perfumes from the ship that went down on the cliffs and you wrecked your own vessel?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?